Hi, brothers. Look, one of the most difficult, challenging, some would even say impossible things to do during not only recovery, but just as a porn addict, is the idea of self-mastery. This is so important. Once you move beyond your porn addiction, you have mastered it. It's actually one of the final stages. There's 4 stages. I did a previous video on this, so check it out on my channel. But self-mastery is the process to get to that final stage. But so many of us, because of our limiting beliefs, because of the lies that we have told ourselves, because of the myths surrounding not only porn, but also just this addiction, has held us back. And what I want to talk to you right now in this video about is how you actually can achieve self-mastery. Yes, you can. You can do this by simply never being satisfied with yourself. Never being satisfied with yourself. This is the one thing that actually separates us from others, okay? It's the greatest ability that we as humans have. We have unlimited potential, and yet we are, like, on purpose, putting ourselves in boxes, putting ourselves in cages. This has to stop. You have to stop doing that. There is so much potential in you, and you can begin your recovery process. You can begin that self-mastery by realizing, by recognizing in yourself that I have unlimited potential. Now, this sounds all really nice, but how do we get to this, right? You're saying, come on, Doc Walter, tell me, how am I going to start my self-mastery? It begins in the morning. What is the thing you do when you wake up? Do you stretch? Do you do some kind of exercise? Do you take a cold shower? Do you journal? Or is the very first thing you do turn on the television, put on some music from maybe Spotify or Pandora, smoke your cigarette? What is it? You see, when you wake up, your mind is it's operating at a very, very high optimal level, not only in terms of memory, but also in terms of recognizing things. It's your subconscious mind in particular, okay? It's the most impressionable during the first 15, 20 minutes after you wake up. It's the same thing also in the evening before you go to bed. Whatever you are going to hear, whatever you're going to watch for the first 15, 20 minutes of your day, it's going to stay with you. It's going to affect you for the rest of the day. You know this, right? Just from basic experience. If you hear music that just, it's not getting you in the mood, or if you turn the radio on or your favorite podcast on, or the news, this negative news, or maybe you're scrolling through Instagram. How many of us have done this, right? We're scrolling through Twitter or Facebook, and we are barraged with images. Maybe we're actually, we're still relapsing because we're maybe looking at porn. Maybe we're watching already videos in the morning. It's the way for us to start the day. If that's the case, you have to stop. But my point is this: the first 15 minutes of your day, it affects your spirit. Control the spirit of your day. I would usually get up. I would actually set an alarm. The alarm would go off. I would turn the alarm off, and then I would go back to sleep. And then when I did wake up, 40 minutes or another hour later, then I would turn on the news. Then I would start my coffee. I wouldn't journal. I wouldn't exercise. I wouldn't listen to any positive, inspirational, motivational YouTube videos or podcasts. Once I started doing that activity, actually those specific activities, motivational videos on YouTube, positive music, journaling, exercising, actually cutting down on coffee, not having coffee in the morning, but having tea. I completely transformed my mindset. You can control the spirit of your day, and by doing that, you begin self-mastery. Because you've set the tone for the day, okay? The next thing is we need to listen to ourselves, but also to other people with relaxed belief. Okay, we don't make an effort. We don't invest in ourselves, and we actually don't invest in other people. We don't take the time to listen to them. Genuinely listen to them. To hear what their problems are, or what their excitements are, what their success is. We need, with intention, make an effort. We need to invest our kind of energy, not only in ourselves, but in the people that are around us. And in doing that, actually, it's the law of attraction, right? Maybe you're familiar with that book, The Secret, right? And then I think there was maybe another book or another two books that are following that. That's what kind of this is about. All right? You're going to attract the people who match that kind of energy that you have out. If you are surrounding yourself with negativity, you're going to be stuck with negativity. Okay? We believe in the lie that we don't have time. We tell this to ourselves, especially when we want to do some kind of activities. We say, I don't have time. We tell this to people who want to actually spend time with us. We say the same thing, I don't have time. We have unlimited potential. We can set the tone for our day, and part of that is we can create the time. Don't have time, that's a lie. We have 24 hours in the day. Scientific studies every year comes out with basically saying between 4 to 7 hours is optimal for sleep. So what do you do with the remaining part of your time? Oh, you're working? Fine, okay, work. But you're only going to be working for maybe 7 hours of the day. Then what are you going to be doing? Right? Relaxing. Well, relaxing how? How do you use your time? Are you binge watching shows? I mean, entertainment is nice. A form of relaxation is okay. But how long and what kind of entertainment is that? And how long are you spending? Right? 24 hours. What are you spending your time on? What do we do with the rest of our time? Just think about that. Okay? Another thing is setting that tone for the day, creating the conditions for self-mastery also includes this very, very simple, but it took me a long time to recognize it and also to accept it. Do not settle. We've spent half of our professional lives settling in our mind first and then in our hearts on stuff that we're not happy with. Stop settling. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Settle for more than you can have. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but don't settle for less than you deserve. You have unlimited potential, so why not attain everything? This is particularly some harsh truth to a lot of you. The next thing for self-mastery, after controlling the spirit of your day, not settling, is you have to create a healthy plan, right? Like, what's your health plan? How are you? Are you overweight? Are you struggling trying to have some kind of exercise routine consistently? If the answers are yes to these things, you have to then start making some changes. One of the most difficult things for me to do, but it was so important, was to have consistent exercise and changing from like kind of the fast food, junk food, to more healthy, nutritious and fresh types of foods. Create a health plan, and if you need help, seek out a nutritionist or some kind of doctor who would help you. It's part of our transformational one-on-one coaching that I do with my clients, and I would love to do it with you. So that would be a component of it, right? How your health is. Another thing is, part of that health is, it's not just the body, it's also the mind and the spirit. So you have to monitor that inner conversation that you're having with yourself. Okay, what are your doubts? What are your fears? What are the false sense that you have on things? And when you identify them, that's why journaling is really important. That's why having a mentor is important, because we identify them and then we destroy them. All right. You control. You ready for this? Pay attention. Write it down, actually. I hope you're writing some notes on this. But remember this. You control the false senses. You control the lies that you're telling yourself. So once you change, once you are able to flip it, right? And no longer are you controlling the false senses, but you're controlling the narrative that you're telling yourself, which is going to be positive. Then you begin another component of that self-mastery. I used to get really angry. And with anger then became loneliness and depression, and of course that led to the relapses. But once I changed how I viewed negativity, how I viewed irritation, once I flipped the script, and instead of controlling the false senses, and I controlled it more with positivity, but shut up, get out of my head. That's a lie. Don't believe that, Aaron. You're better than this, Aaron. Yeah, come on. You probably have started doing some things like this, or maybe you've thought of doing it, but then you've believed that false sense and you've stopped. I urge you to start doing these kinds of things, because mentally it's so important, and it actually will. It's a wonderful component for this self mastery, and you will be successful. Something else, and this is, I've said it now twice, I think. Journaling is very, very important. Journaling, it's a subjective process. It's a subjective process. It helps you identify. It's so important for a reboot, because it helps identify what your triggers are, what your emotions are, how you're feeling leading up to a potential relapse, and then if you do relapse, how you're feeling afterwards. You're able to track, and by tracking, you're able to get control. You're able to plan. You're able to identify, well, if I'm going to be going here, or if this happens, my usual, reaction, emotional reaction, mental reaction is this. So I'm going to then do these things instead. That's important. That type of self-mastery begins with the journaling. You have to improve your vision of your life, and the only way that happens is when you take control of your life, and the only way that you can take control of your life is by measuring your progress, and journaling is a great way to do that. It engages your subconscious mind, It allows you to become the storyteller. It allows you to become the author of your day-to-day progress. You understand? I mean, it's very simple. And the idea that it's very hard to actually do or implement, that's another false sense. That's another lie. It's not. It's easy. You have to be committed, though. You cannot be satisfied with yourself. Don't be satisfied with yourself. You have to plan your day on purpose. You have to live your day with intent. And if you can do those two things, plan your day on purpose, live your day with intent, then you will achieve self-mastery. I hope that this helped you. Please subscribe to the channel. There's more videos that are being uploaded weekly. I would love to work with you to create a unique one-to-one recovery program, which you will be successful in stopping your addiction of pornography and masturbation, reclaiming your relationships, and transforming your life. That's talk. Brother, I was where you were. I'm on the other side now. Let me guide you. Okay. Blessings.